Okay, all right. On today's episode, we have special guest Captain Donnie Jackson with Tails Up Offshore Fishing Charters, and he's going to be an awesome guest. And then we also are going to recap our trip from this weekend and my trip fishing with fans on Friday before the interview. So stay tuned, and always remember, this episode is sponsored by Coors Pure and Vizzy Hard Seltzer. And as always, thank you to Boot Crew Media for giving us this platform. So y'all all better go follow them because they just got to 4,000 and on the road to 5. Congratulations, Boot Crew Media. You freaking beast. And they are pumping out sweet content. And now, welcome back to Sportsman's Paradise Podcast with your two anchors, Ken McGuire and Chase Carpenter. What up, Chase? How you been, my guy?
I've been good. I'm excited for America's birthday.
Yeah, the 4th of July.
And a 4-day weekend. Gonna go fishing, gonna try harder.
Are you working tomorrow or are you going to Alabama?
Working tomorrow. I'm staying here. Jackson's coming in town. I want to see him.
I know.
My buddy from the military.
I'm kind of bummed I'm going out of town and not going to see him.
But he told us last minute.
He did. Yeah, he did.
Plans were in stone.
Yeah, I was already leaving, but he's going to be classic to come in. But into my trip on Friday. So Friday, I went out with two fans who were awesome.
But when you're going out, I was texting you saying it's flooding in Slidell. Be careful, because people at my work were like, it's like 6 inches of rain on the streets.
We must not have gone deep Slidell because it didn't really flood where we were. So I was happy about that. But the water was disgusting. We ended up catching some fish, but not too much because the water was just disgusting. And it was actually pretty windy, but he was throwing top waters, and both of them were throwing top water. I was sticking with spinnerbait, but I didn't get much, so I switched to a jig, started catching some trout. But he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna throw in a bigger top water." And it was like this big ass spook that you could pop two things out, and it would turn into a like a whopper plopper.
Yeah,
it was pretty sick. But we saw like this one fish blow up on something, and it was right in front of where he was twitching his bait. And then he fucking twitched it right there, and he was like, I'm about to get blown up. And then whoosh, huge swirl on it, and he caught like a fucking 30-inch red on top water. It was so sick.
That's awesome. Did you put on top water after? I'm like, holy shit.
No, I didn't. But it was so badass. I was tempted, but both of them were throwing it, and I was in the back of the boat, and I was like, I'm not gonna do it. I just kept pitching and trying to get something.
Where'd y'all go?
We were on Lake Pontchartrain on the coast of like nearest to Lake Bourne,
Next to Chef Pass.
Yeah. So like if you're going down the coast, you'll take a left and you're on Chef Pass.
Okay.
So we just trolled that whole area. If it was clean water, I think we would have done real well. So there was really no clean water anywhere. Kind of like our trip when we went Saturday, me, you, and little Louis Jobert.
Yeah.
Went out Saturday afternoon. Thought we might be able to find some clear water, and nothing.
Well, we found one pond.
Yeah.
But it was very shallow, ton of grass. I got a hit. I don't know. I mean, I felt like a hit. I don't know how big it was, but we couldn't really reel it up without having a salad on our spoon.
That was frustrating, but that pond is promising in the future when it isn't blowing so fast, which was a pain in the ass. We couldn't even troll up it because the wind was so bad, just right in our face at times, which was a total bitch.
Because it was promising, but before that, we couldn't find any clean water.
Right, but shockingly, in the dirty waters where we got our bites, I caught a small red, which was probably 16 and a half inches. Not probably, I measured it. It was 16 and a half inches.
Yeah, on a jig head throwing at the grass.
Yeah, and it was this faintest little bite, but it was sweet. And then we kept trolling and little Lewis was
sitting down, having a beer,
throwing a spinner bait, and hooked up with looked like to be maybe his biggest redfish of his whole life. This thing was huge.
Yeah.
And he was just reeling down, sitting down in the back of the boat, and he came off.
Yeah, I rolled a few times. I even had the net ready. It was a little battle.
It was awesome. Yeah, he fought it for like 30 seconds and then
drag.
Gone.
Yeah.
Gone pecan.
And
Poor
then
bastard.
Yeah, after that we kept on trolling and we were phased by it. And then it was pretty close to where he had that fish. So there's a few fish in that area.
Yeah, there were. You got that. You almost had that one.
I casted a crawl. No, a spoon.
Spoon.
And I had one on and I did not set the hook. It broke off pretty quickly.
Gone.
And
Pecan.
It was a keeper red. You can feel it.
These two bastards. I felt so bad for him. Have you slept yet? I know Lewis hasn't. He hadn't slept. He was texting me around like 2 a.m. like, oh my God, I cannot sleep. I'm just dreaming of that big red that got off.
Yeah, I'm pretty frustrated.
These poor two. I couldn't stop ripping on them. I was like, these poor bastards. They didn't catch jack.
Lost a bass later on.
Yeah, which was a pretty nice bass.
Yeah, it was tiny. I purposely, when you
it was like
them.
Yeah, it was like a 7-pound marsh bass.
Hopetail
record marsh bass gone.
No way.
No, it wasn't. Wait, but what are you doing? You're going fishing Monday with someone from work?
Yeah, I'm going fishing with Nick Cruz from work. He sits next to me. Good guy. We're going out of Chef's Pass, going to hit Bourne area next to Alligator Bend. Going to go in the marsh. He has some spots.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be sick. That's going to be a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Does he live out there?
He lives in Mandeville. Or no. Forgot what it's called.
Slidell, Covington?
No, a little past it.
Sheesh.
Mm-hmm.
Sheesh.
But we're going to try to troll, find some reds, maybe some bass.
All right, let's do it.
And hit Alligator Bend.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. So, stay tuned for next week's episode where we're going to review that trip. And then I'm going to Pensacola, and I'm either going to target pompano or sharks.
Why not both? A whole day of it.
Yeah, because I don't have all the equipment. I need to go get some stuff.
Holder, you got to drop me off the house to get the pole.
You got it, you think? Mm-hmm. Let's go. So
you want to borrow a big pole for shark fishing? I got a big spinning pole and a big surf rod.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll borrow that.
Tell me how it works. I need to get working because my dad's friend Jason gave it to us. We haven't used it once.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so down for this.
I think I have some
line on it.
Yep. I think I have some big ass hooks too.
Oh, let's go. Yeah, I'm coming over after.
Oh, and big weights.
Let's go.
But you got a kayak or something?
No, I'm just gonna swim it out there.
Okay.
The wind doesn't look bad, so I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be too rough.
If a shark gets next to you, give him the hook.
Yeah.
And when they bite it, they're gonna instinctively run. You set the hook back, reel it up. And people are like, that is a badass. That guy just swam, caught a shark with his hand, basically.
It's gonna be sick. I'm a little nervous about I'm staying at it's my aunt and uncle's house. All the cousins are going. I'm a little nervous. They're not big fishermen. I'm nervous they're gonna be a little like, oh, I don't know if we should be fishing with all of us in the water. I'm gonna be throwing chum out there and shit.
No, good. You give kids some chum, like go there, throw it over there.
Throw it everywhere.
Yeah, go with neck high water.
Yeah. Go till the riptide pulling you out.
Yeah.
And then let it pull you out a little farther and then
That's
drop
what you
it.
want. You get kids to bring your bait farther on buggy boards. But when you're fishing pompano, between the first and second sandbar, if you can see two of them, that's where they're at.
I know. I hope we can get them.
Fish bites.
Yeah, I'm going to do the fish bites, the little triple rig with the pyramid weight in the bottom probably.
I might have a pompano rig too.
Oh, you might.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's look for that.
And pyramid weights, I got a few.
Fuck yeah.
Hopefully it's not ripping.
Yeah, I hope it is.
But they bite more.
It isn't.
When it's yellow flag, they bite more than green.
All right. Yeah.
The sand's moving.
It's not perfectly clear water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll be sick.
It's perfectly clear.
All right, sick. Well, that's gonna be awesome. Your trip, I'm looking forward to hearing about that. Yeah. And now let's dive into Captain Donnie Jackson with Tails Up Offshore Fishing Charters. Welcome, Captain Donnie Jackson with Tails Up Offshore Fishing Charters. We're happy to have you. We just spoke a little about fishing tournaments you've been in recently, and we're going to dive into that once we get a little more into the pod. But how you doing? And thanks so much for coming on.
Doing great, guys. Appreciate you having me.
Good.
Get into some backstory, telling us how you started.
Yeah. So you grew up fishing with your dad at a very young age. Did you start with him mostly offshore, inshore, or how'd that come
we
up?
grew up in Grand Isle. We had a camp down there, so I was always going. We had a little flat boat. I would go out age 10, just ripping the back bays, catching trout and redfish. Kind of graduated from that, went in common out of pass, started catching bull reds and stuff like that. And my dad was always doing offshore fishing, so it always intrigued me, but he was kind of nervous, like, when do I get my son into it type of deal,
Because I think that's a whole different monster.
Yeah.
The offshore it's
a different breed.
Yeah, it's
all
a different
breed.
for sure.
And yeah, I mean it's a whole new ball game.
Mhm.
But how'd you get? So when did you hop into it?
Well, I hopped into it. I was probably, a little after 10, maybe about 11. My dad took me offshore and did some rig fishing, snapper fishing, stuff like that. We started. He had a 30-foot cabin cruiser, Bertram, and it wasn't like we had today. The outboard. It was an inboard boat, but it had a cabin on it. Going out 20 miles in that boat was a trip. Today we do round trips at 300 miles.
Sure.
But it was great to just get out there and be with my dad. My dad taught me a lot about boating, hard work, business, all of those things. So, I always looked up to my dad. He was winning a bunch of deep sea rodeos, back in the day. So kind of just wanted to get into it and just kept rolling from there, man,
Love it. And so y'all had that boat for a while, and I was reading up on your website, and it looked like they called it, was that the legendary Sea Cruiser?
Yeah, that was the Sea Cruiser like number. Every boat we get, we name it Sea Cruiser.
Mm-hmm.
So it's it went from the cabin cruiser to a 30-foot Donzi, then a 32-foot Donzi, then from 2 motors to 3 motors, and just every so often we just kept going with the newest deal for us,
And now you got that badass 39-foot contender.
39 contender with trip 425s, man. For years, I started my business and we were running a 35 contender with trip 300s, and it was a great boat. I was actually we have it up for sale right now. I was gonna keep it to run 2 boats for my business, but I'm happy with just keeping 1 boat and keeping it smaller and family oriented type of business. I don't want to become some big company or anything like that right now.
What's your next boat?
Oh man, that's a tough one.
It's a fun one.
Yeah, contender has a 44. I might keep it at the 39 for a little while though. I like it. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good size. Some of those, when you go out there and you'll see those, I feel like you'll see like a 48-foot Freeman out there. It's like, holy shit, that's a lot of boat.
Definitely. I mean, and the 39 is perfect because we do a lot of traveling for tournaments and stuff like that, and that's comfortable to pull that. Anything bigger, you have to have special permits on the road and stuff like that. So I'm pretty happy with the 39 right now.
I love that. And the 425s. I remember the first time I saw a 425, I was at the boat show at the Superdome, and it was probably like 5 years ago, maybe a little less, when Yamaha just came out with them. And I got a picture standing next to it, and I'm like, and the thing's like freaking, I felt like it was 8 feet tall. It was a little like on a little standing, but it was like, holy shit, that's a mean motor.
Oh yeah, the 45s are serious, man. It's just it's a different animal. I was kind of nervous about getting them at first on our boat. They've been out a few years. The 300s we had were so reliable, so it's hard to like, should I get something bigger? But I heard, I talked to a bunch of guys and they swore by him. So I keep up with my maintenance and do all that stuff. Having a business, you have to do that stuff, and take care of my stuff, take care of my equipment. So, I mean, they've been running great for us. We got the boat in January. We've already put about 600 hours on it. So,
damn.
Yeah,
that's awesome. And I saw it has a 500-gallon fuel tank.
Yep, 500 gallons.
How far can you run without even worrying?
Yeah, we get we try to keep it 200 miles is the furthest we're gonna go. Because you got 200 miles back, and then we like to have 100 gallons to play with because we don't always get a gallon per mile with the 425s. We average anywhere from 0.8, 0.9. Sometimes when we're low on fuel, we'll get a mile per gallon, but normally we're burning 0.8.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So opening it wide up. How fast are you going?
When we're wide open, we'll go anywhere. Depends how loaded the boat is, but anywhere from 62 kind of loaded to 64 is our top end speed. But we really don't run that fast charter fishing. We try to keep it economical for the customers, and we cruise at about 50, but that's still fast on the water.
Tournaments, though, you're
tournaments. That's
awesome.
Yeah, we're getting it for tournaments.
Yeah. I just saw the video on TikTok of the Destin tournament and all the boats going out. That must be a cool moment, right? When the tournament starts.
Oh yeah,
it's all flying out together. Is that how the one was at the
Golden Nugget, huh?
Yeah, the Golden Nugget one.
Mississippi Gulf Coast Billfish Class. Oh yeah. We shotgun start at 11 a.m. and you're going against all these $1 million boats, and here we are in the center console, and it's pretty cool. Those boats get going pretty quickly too, though.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those are sick. And then I want to hear. So tell us about the Billfish Classic, the Mississippi Gulf Coast Billfish Classic. For people who don't know, these bad boys took home the trophy against those $1 million boats. So I want to hear a little backstory about it.
Yeah. Well, man, it's just a great story. Something I'm very proud of as a captain, as a business owner, as a son. I got to fish with my dad, which normally, I grew up fishing with him, but we normally just fish tournaments together now. He leaves the charter fishing up to us. I have a guy who works for, his name's Tyler. So, long story short, man, they came up with a bounty for this tournament. It was a $300,000 bounty to break the Mississippi swordfish record, which was, I think, 242 pounds. So that's a pretty good fish,
Yeah.
But I'm not a super big money guy, man. So to do a tournament like this, it's a lot. You got to throw up for the Calcuttas, the entry fee, $6,000. So all together, all expenses and everything, you're looking at anywhere from 12 to 16 grand, just to fish the tournament.
Yeah. And you got your rods, reels, lines, baits, hooks.
Yeah, that's
gas.
not exactly. Yeah. That's just Calcuttas and entry fees and stuff like that. So, we put a lot of work into it, man. I changed all the line on my reels, rigged a bunch of swordfish baits, got some baits, did a lot of, stuff that we do, because charter fishing puts a grind on your gear, So we changed out all our lines, got a bunch of fresh baits, and we decided to do this tournament, and we decided to do it, and it couldn't have worked out better for us, man. We broke the record, and
smoked the record.
Yeah.
I mean, after you said 240 was the previous record, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
The record, their fish weighed what was it, 309?
309.9.
God, that's fun when you put it on there and it's just
200,
300. Oh!
Yeah, 5 hour battle, man. 5 hour stand up battle. For the tournament, the same angler has to fight.
I was about to ask that.
And stand up gear, it has to occur the whole time. So I was fighting the majority of the fish. I don't get to fight a lot of fish as captain. But with this much money on the line, I battle some big tunas and big swordfish. Yeah. I was like, all right, guys, we're gonna take this, man. So
how deep was it? How deep did y'all drop it down?
1,600 feet of water.
Okay.
100 foot off the bottom.
Damn.
Yep. And we ran about 300 miles west from Biloxi.
Okay.
So
how long it take y'all to get this bite? Was it quick?
No,
Okay.
it was, well, we were out there for 3 days and 2 nights on a center console boat on the 39 contender.
Those bean bags are comfortable.
Yeah, that's how we did it, man. You know, we brought a little barbecue pit with us and cooked steaks and stuff. So we were eating good, you know. But just the grind of a tournament, man, you know, you're fishing for that much money. It's a big deal. So you know, long story short, you know, we were out there, man, and we got into a big school of fish. The first spot we went to, you know, I got this special R509 sounder, and it marks swordfish and marks bait on the bottom and stuff like that. So, you know, we were kind of doing some, you know, I picked some spots with Seymour maps and the Simrad enhanced charts, and we were doing some scouting, looking around and stuff. And the first spot we picked, it looked good on the chart, but when we got there, it wasn't that good. You know, we weren't really marking what I like to look for when I'm sword fishing, you know. So we kept moving. You know, I like to stick and move, man, until I find a good, you know, class of fish that I'm comfortable with, you know. So we kept jumping around. We would catch like a 150, a 130, you know, good fish, but not that we were looking for 300 pounds.
Yeah.
So
we're looking for the record.
Yeah,
baby.
yeah.
Have you caught one before 300 pounds?
Not 300 pounds.
Okay.
I caught a couple 280s and stuff like that, but not quite.
You'd win it though.
Yeah,
win
it.
Yeah.
But you know,
what's our record? Sorry to interrupt.
It's 310. So
You were
I would have
close
been
to
a
that,
pound.
too?
Yeah, very close. And you know, we got some of the best fishermen in Louisiana. So that's definitely you know, on recreational tackle. There's been some bigger fish caught, but not in stand-up gear. Stand-up gear is a totally different animal.
Yeah.
You know,
Electric reels, huh?
Yeah, they catch them on electrics and stuff like that. But those don't count as the record.
Yeah,
You know, it's
I like that.
It's a good call.
Yeah, definitely.
So back to, you were trying different spots till you found the good spot, the one that marked the fish that you like.
Oh yeah, we got there, man, and we ended up getting there. So the first day was kind of like a travel day. We got there late at night, so we spent the night on the boat. Got up the next morning, and I made a move about 30 miles. We started catching some nice fish, you know, but we just kept moving. Finally, we got into some fish that were 200 pounds. I battled one for 3.5 hours. It jumped 10 feet from the boat. It was about a 280-pound fish. 3.5 hours, the fish sounded again, and we pulled the hooks. So after 3.5 hours, we knew, I mean, that was one of the biggest swords I've seen, you know. So we were all kind of bummed out, man. So we went back to the spot, you know, and made another drop. And sure enough, we hook up right up, you know, soon as we hit the bottom, you know, come up a little bit, it was jumped again. It was like a little smaller. It was about 260. So I've fought that one for 2 hours, pulled the hooks, man.
Oh,
so by this time, you know, morale's pretty low on the boat, man. Everybody's kind of like, oh shit, man. You know, we had our chances. Is this gonna, you know, what's gonna happen? So we were already kind of running low on fuel, and we were debating, do we go in and get fuel and come back out? But really that made no sense because, you know, we're limited on time, man. We would have had to run so far and get fuel and then come back out. We'd be exhausted. So, you know, we talked about it as a group, and you know, we decided to stay out there.
Yep.
So we stayed on the boat, you know, got some rest, shut the engines off, you know, one guy stayed monitoring the lines all night. We fished at night. We never caught any big fish at night. We caught a few small ones, but we knew that the bigger fish would come during the day, you know, or we were more confident in that. So the next morning, man, we wake up, first drop was like a 150. You know, here we are back again. We're getting the 150s, but we can't get the 200. You know, we're like, when is this gonna happen? So the next drop, it's 7 o'clock in the morning, man. You know, boom, just the rod just bends over, man. We know, you know, it starts pulling drag. We're in for a big fight. The fish comes up. We get the lead off pretty quickly. We see the fish. It's an absolute super stud. You know, it's bigger than the first two fish. We're like, all right, this is him, dude.
Going crazy.
Yeah. So we're all talking about it, and like, all right, we got to catch this fish, you know, whatever it takes. Well, we're all thinking, man, how long can we fight this fish until we got to get in, you know, because we still had to run, get fuel. And then from, you know, Venice to Biloxi is another 90 miles. So we're sitting here, 300 miles away from the dock, of where we got to be. So we're thinking, man, this is going to be a 2-hour fight, 2.5-hour fight max. We're going to be great on time, Well, 2.5 hours, 3 hours later, we're still not even close, man. It's just a tug of war battle, man. I mean, back and forth. We gain a little, this fish sounds. We gain a little, this fish sounds. It never jumped, but we saw it, when we took the weight off, and we were just like, man, do we bump up the drag a little bit? So I kept bumping it up. Here we are. We've decided that we have to leave at 11 a.m. to make it where we want to be. Well, here comes 10 a.m. We're like, oh shit, dude,
not even close.
Right. We're about 2.5 hours, 3 hours in, and we're like, man, we're gonna have to start taking chances here, So I just kept bumping the line up a little bit, man, bumping it up, and I feeling uneasy about it because swordfish, I don't like to fish them with heavy drag. The more pressure, they're not just like a tuna, man. They don't just sit there and you can muscle them up. It's very like a finesse game of back and forth. And usually the more drag you put on them, the harder they're going to pull the opposite way. So, we were doing that, and man, 11 o'clock rolls around. We're like, shit, this fish is still pulling drag, just pulling us around, man. We drifted by like 3 miles, 3-4 miles at this point, just pulling us around. And we're like, man. So I'm just keep bumping it up a little more. Finally, I got like 25, 30 pounds of drag on this fish, which is like unheard of for sword fishing, By that time we were like, dude, we just got to take a chance. Cause if we're running out of time. Even if we catch the fish and we're not here, it's not gonna mean anything, So we just, by this time, my legs are getting numb, and they're pouring water on me, Gatorade, man. And I'm starting to think like, man, am I gonna make it through this?
Someone else is driving the boat back.
My dad's driving the boat all the time. The crew's rigging gaffs and all that, man, getting everything ready, and it's just, man, it's a grind. It's the 11, 12 o'clock sun's up, I'm sweating profusely, dude, getting dehydrated, and all that's in my mind is like, we got to get this fish. Every time I thought about giving up, I'm like, that paycheck, that paycheck. So finally, man, we get it where it's like 150 foot down, and I was like, dude, I'm just gonna go all in on this fish. So I just get down, start using everything in my body, man. I was burnt out at that time, and we get it to where the fish finally comes up. He was almost dead. He fought for so long, he still had a little life. So he comes up, man, absolute super stud on the surface. He's kind of just sitting there. So, my dad drives the boat over to it. One of the crew members gaffs him, another crew member gaffs him, and we put a third gaff in him. And then we got a tail rope, and it took all 5 of us to bring this fish into the boat. I got a tuna door in the back of my contender. And, we catch some big fish, 200-pound tunas, but this 300-pound swordfish was,
different ball game.
Definitely.
I can't imagine the feeling once y'all got it in the boat, you're done working 5 hours, every muscle in your body. Must have been amazing.
Dude, it's just so gratifying, but we really didn't have time to think about anything. We're like, we gotta go, man. So we didn't even get pictures of the fish, bringing it in the boat, because we're like, man, it's already 12 o'clock at this time. We were supposed to leave an hour ago. So we're totally out of time. We don't have any time. So I'm letting my dad drive. We're in the back of the boat. My dad's running the boat hard. We're trying to ice the fish and get it all put in this big old swordfish bag we got. And we're trying to ice it. And the whole time, we're thinking, are we going to make it? We knew we were decent on time, but our fuel was just,
depleting.
Yeah. So long story short, man, we're just driving. We get about 3 miles outside of Red Pass, man, which is the pass to go into Venice if you're coming from the west. Well, we get 3 miles outside of there, the engine starts sputtering, man.
Oh, fuck.
All the lights are going off, low fuel. Oh, so
hard.
Oh my God, dude. My anxiety is literally, my chest we knew we had a winning fish on the boat, but by this time we're like, oh, guys,
we're fucked.
Yeah, we're not going to make it, dude. We're going to run out of fuel. you know. So we get us 3 miles outside the pass, man, and we just come to a complete stop. So
and you're already running a little late.
definitely.
Were y'all calling Cito like before stopping?
No, we didn't have time for that, you know. So it was like,
we better make it.
yeah. Well, luckily we had kind of planned this, man. I had 3 tanks on the contender. So I shut one of my tanks off with 9 gallons of fuel left in it. So I opened that tank, man. It was just enough to get us up Red Pass going 30 miles an hour, you know, maximizing a gallon per mile, just enough. You know, I run out of Cypress Cove Marina. So that's about a mile further than Venice Marina. So we came through Red Pass. And I had just enough, man. We must have got to Venice Marina on fumes, dude. Seriously.
Wow.
Everything was just, you know, I got everybody in the front of the boat, so the boat would plane going 30 miles an hour. You know, we got ice, we got this huge fish in the boat. Everything's just eating more fuel, you know, all this weight in the boat. So long story short, man, we limp into Venice Marina. By this time it was getting late. It was close to 3 o'clock, if not past 3 o'clock, you know. One of my buddies was getting fuel before me. They had a little line to get fuel. I told him what was going on. I said, hey, do you mind?
Your ass.
Yeah. Do you mind if we slide in and get fuel? You know, he was really cool about it, and he let us get fuel. And not only one pump, we had one pump. He let us use his pump also.
Big
so
time.
definitely. I mean, I don't know if we would have made it with that. You know, I told him I'm gonna buy him a steak dinner. He just wants a cut, you know. Nothing wrong with that. But you know, and we got fuel in about, you know, 10 to 15 minutes. We put a quick 160 gallons in the boat. And then, man, I've never ran that contender harder from, you know, Venice to Biloxi. We made it to the Beau Rivage where you had to check in, where they had a committee boat with 8 minutes to spare.
Oh my
5:52. Everything had to go right for us, though, man. That's why this is such a cool story, because if it wasn't calm, no way we'd have made it. If one little mechanical problem arise, no way we would have made it, you know. You know, everybody had to pee and stuff. We were just going, man.
Pee in your pants.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, go in the back of the boat. You know, we
open the tuna thing and just piss on the floor and spray it down.
My pants, like, who cares?
Yeah, we're not stopping. You know, no matter what. You know, I mean, we're not stopping. So we made it with 8 minutes to spare. And by that time, man, we were just, it started to set in. You know?
What do you do when you pull up? Does someone just have to like sprint up there and say, hey, we're back? Or
no, they have a committee boat sitting at the Beau Rivage, which is like a you know, Mississippi small harbor guys with lights on their boat and stuff. So when 6 o'clock came, they shut it down. You know, that they would get behind the last boat. So I think we were the second to last boat to weigh. So we get there at 6 o'clock. We don't weigh this fish till 10 p.m., man.
Oh my God.
So
that's even better though. It's just a dagger and it's like
just watching people get happy.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm talking to everybody trying to find out what they got. You know, we knew we had a state record fish, but we didn't know if anyone got one bigger.
Yeah.
That's always the question.
Right.
Did someone get one bigger? So, you know, we're just hanging out, man. I'm bullshitting with everybody. And, you know, everybody's like, yeah, we got a 130, you know, a 150. And I was kind of keeping it on the low. I was like, yeah, we got a good one, you know.
A good one.
Yeah. You know, try to just be humble. That's important, you know. And we got a good one. And, you know, we heard that a 230 something was weighed. We knew, you know, I've been fishing a while, so I got a pretty good idea of fish weights. You know, I knew, you know, I thought this one might have been 290, 295, pretty close to 300, maybe a little above 300. So I was super glad it was 309. It might have been 315, 320 when we caught it, man. We couldn't ice it the best way possible. It was such a big fish, so hard to move around in the boat.
You're racing out of there.
Exactly, racing time, you know. So, man, 10 p.m. comes around, man. We're hanging this fish up, and it's just a great, you know, I fished a long time, and I can't express how, you know, my family was there. You know, it was just an awesome experience, man. Everybody was cheering tails up and just, you know,
it's amazing.
It was just, you know, they were broadcasting it on the internet, which I didn't even, you know, I kind of knew that, but at the time I wasn't thinking that, you know, I'm like, I just want to weigh this fish, get the record, and get paid. Yeah, that's all. And man,
win that tournament.
we took it home.
Oh, that's incredible. That's incredible. So how many categories were in the tournament? Was that one of the or I guess it's a billfish classic. I guess is it only swordfish?
No, it's swordfish, blue marlin, tuna, wahoo, and mahi-mahi.
But they put the bounty on the world record of only swordfish.
Correct.
So that was the
the state records for swordfish.
That was the hot one.
Right, definitely. And blue marlin's always a big draw too. All those big boats, they fish blue marlin, and tuna's pretty popular also. But for this swordfish bounty, man, we just brought the swordfish gear, man. That's all we were going for. We were going for the big state record swordfish,
and you got it
with a legendary trip.
Awesome.
Like last 8 minutes to spare, almost ran out of gas. 2 fish lost. That would have you would have had it.
We would have had first, second, and third. and you could keep first, second, and third for this tournament. It wasn't just like you take first. So to seal the deal, man, I'm happy with just one, but to have either one of those, either first and second, I mean that's a big accomplishment. Huge accomplishment.
Definitely.
No.
And it's nice that a Louisiana man holds the biggest state record, Mississippi.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Just a great story, man.
So what if you caught, this might sound dumb, but if you caught that fish, you went out of, I guess if you went out of Mississippi, you'd have to come back to Mississippi to weigh it. What if you went out from Mississippi, caught it, and it was like the Louisiana record, came back to Venice Marina, got an official title there, and then brought it over to Mississippi? Is that legal? Or
no,
I
don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think
Louisiana
so.
claims it.
So what port you go out of is how they base that. And once you break the record one place, that's
you can't just break it to every state.
All right, go Florida,
Texas.
Unfortunately it didn't. But we were happy, man. We weren't complaining. So
yeah, that's incredible. And then I guess now I was very interested in your tournament talk, and then I also loved about how when the Sea Cruiser pulls up to the Tarpon Rodeo, they know that boat's coming. Have you fish that every year?
We used to fish it, man, before I got into charters and stuff like that. It was like my dad used to fish it a lot, so it was, when he came in, he'd go out on multi-day trips, and when he came in, he had a bunch of, he broke a lot of state records also, so after he would come in, they were coming in with some big fish, and we kind of got away from the Tarpon Rodeo just because it's more of a party and stuff like that. And now, I'm more about fishing for money and tournament stuff. Why fish for a trophy when you can fish for money?
Yeah, definitely.
Especially
almost $500,000 for some of these. Or some of them, I bet, aren't some of them like $1 million prize?
Oh, yeah. Close to it for these blue marlin. And, it's definitely.
God, that's fun.
What's your next tournament?
Next tournament, man. Not sure yet. We're taking off a little bit. Normally we fish like 2 or 3 of the big game tournaments in the summer, but after this tournament, man, it's hard, because I had 5 charters that week. So the debate was, do I turn down charters, guaranteed money, to gamble on myself to go fish for this tournament? So that's where a lot of the debate came in, and it was tough because it's like, okay, I'm turning down these charters for good money to go, gamble on myself basically, and I'm going to be spending money, and you're not always going to win, man.
Right.
It's just not how it goes.
It's fishing, not catching.
Exactly. You're fishing against the best anglers in the Southern United States. These tournaments are the best anglers around,
I wouldn't be shocked if some people even come from the
Northeast.
Northeast coast.
You get people from all over to fish these.
God, that's awesome. One of my buddies, he grew up fishing down in Venice. Do you know Bradley Leopold?
I do.
Yeah. So he
fished with Fish Commander.
For years. But now he's actually back in town. He's now he's in school again, trying to get his master's. I think he hates it. I think he just is always thinking he's diehard offshore fisherman.
Yeah. Once you get it in your blood, man, it's hard to do. I'm not a desk job person. I like being on the outdoors, So it's it's hard to do anything else now, man. It's like a rush being out there, man.
It is.
They say the tug is the drug, and that's
It's true.
That's true, man.
And I mean, it's the adrenaline out there is just so much fun. Like last year, maybe not even a year ago now, I went out. We went on an overnighter out of Venice with my buddy Johnny Drennan. Shout out Johnny. And we went out there for like, I think it was 26, 28 hours. I got seasick as hell for the first 12. That's why I said those beanbag chairs are so comfortable.
Yeah.
I was just passed out sleeping on that. I'd wake up, catch a snapper, catch a blackfin tuna, try to unhook it while shaking, throw up, go back to bed. But it was just, I mean, deep sea fishing, there's nothing really like it. I mean, it's awesome. Totally different ball game.
Definitely.
And like snapper fishing's fun and stuff, but when you go out to the blue water and you trying to find
tuna, swordfish, that's a different game. Yeah, definitely.
God, it's awesome.
I caught a swordfish before. It was a small one, but it was like 4 people reeling it at once, and it came up dead.
Yeah,
but it was like nothing else. It was
man,
like a rock on the bottom.
Definitely.
We're like, are we sure we're on something? I felt like I was hitting real.
And that's the cool thing, man. Like everyone can fight that fish.
Yeah.
You know, that's
It's
a lot
team
of my
effort.
charters. Exactly. That's, it's not a one guy show. It's nice when one guy can do it, but for the most part, man, everybody can get their turn crank. Somebody cranks on her for 5. I'm done, man.
Yeah.
I'm done. All right, next up. And you always have a fresh person on it. And tournament fishing, you can't do that, but charter fishing, it's great, and that way everyone's getting a piece of the experience, man. And that's priceless.
You're pulling an animal up from like a different universe down there. 1,000 feet, 2,000 feet.
Swordfish are so cool, man, because we're just starting. Daytime sword fishing just became popular, about 5 years ago. Now it's super popular. Everybody's a swordfish is a lot of people's bucket list fish. I can't tell you how many people come. I'd say 90% of my charters are yellowfin tuna and swordfish. That's the 2 bucket list items for a lot of people.
Yeah, it'd be so fun. And I love how when you pull them up, you can spray them down and brush them off. It's like they're literally in the mud. Thousands of feet down,
definitely. And they come up electric purple, man, and just swatting their bill. And it's just super cool.
Massive eyes.
Oh,
yeah.
Huge.
So cool.
For sure.
What is the best time of year to go? Like, is there a time you tell your clients, like, come now?
March, April all the way through November, man. Is great for sword fishing. Right now out of Venice, the tuna fishing is excellent too. So, every now and then we have a poor year migration period for tuna, but this year so far it's been excellent. We had a decent year on the lump with some bigger fish, and right now we're catching, some numbers of like 30 to 100-pound fish with some bigger fish mixed in there.
Wow,
So
that's
it's
fun.
definitely, you go out, with a bunch of baits, go tuna fishing for a couple hours, get a couple tunas, then come in, make a swordfish drop, and then do some snapper fishing, man. It's just, you're doing a little of everything. And to me, that says more about you as a captain, that you're not some one-trick pony, man. You're able to do everything that someone, and people appreciate that,
Oh, it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience for them. They go back telling everyone.
For sure.
Fish, tuna, and a snapper.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And I loved reading some of the reviews on how clean you keep the boat. So that's always nice.
Oh yeah, we like to keep it clean and professional, man. I just feel like a clean boat catches more fish. That way when the heat gets on, man, you got a bunch of fish on the line. You're not falling over shit, or it just doesn't look professional to have. The first thing someone looks at when they get on your boat is in the morning is your gear and how clean the boat is, man. I can't tell you how many people tell me that, man, when we walk up, that's a first impression for people.
For sure.
Yeah.
Hop on, the boat's yellow. You got old blood on it. I mean, it's just like, oh, what are we getting ourselves into?
Exactly.
I mean, this guy's a piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You want to set the tone, man, for people. They're paying for a good amount of money to take you fishing, so you want to give them your A game,
Definitely. And one thing I've always wondered this, I feel like deep sea, being a captain deep sea fishing I think it's harder than inshore captain for sure, just because it's
The work.
different ball game. But I almost feel like it's more rewarding going with them, because I feel like when you take inshore people, they you're kind of all casting to the same spot, and then you're crossing lines. The poor captains has to untangle all the shit. I feel like deep sea would be fun because a lot of times y'all will do the drop because a lot of people don't even know how to use those big reels.
Correct.
And you're not, and then if they lose the fish, it's kind of like, damn it, that sucks. But like everyone, like you just lose a lot of fish. I feel like deep sea fishing, whether it be sharks or whether they tangle up in the rig or something, it just seems like a lot more fun doing that.
And definitely. And the cool thing about deep sea is they're pelagic fish, man. So you go out there one day, you smash them at a certain spot. You go back out there the next day, you might not get a bite, man. So it's always, you know, not to knock inshore fishing, but you have your inshore holes, man, where you can constantly go and get
you got
fish,
an oyster reef and you know they'll be there.
Exactly.
Throw a shrimp on, you'll get sheephead.
Deep sea fishing is more of, you know, you're always thinking like, what's my next move, man? Like if they're not here, where am I going to go? If they're not there, I need to do something else. You know, is this rip line going to hold fish? I'm going to stop and just check it out real quick, because you never know, man. That's such the cool thing about it, you know?
It's awesome. What's one of your favorite rigs? Who dat, Tinkerbell? I mean, what do you like out there?
Yeah, I like them all, man. I like all.
Whichever one's hot.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we use you know, Hilton's, you know, real-time navigator to check, you know, water temperatures and water clarity. So, you know, the night before I'll look on the satellite image and that kind of determines where I'm going to go, you know, looking for clean water, tuna fishing, and just, you know, temperature breaks, anything of that, you know, and you know, you can talk to certain people, but when you have that satellite image, man, it's
game
you know, that's know that you're going to get that best effort, you know.
Before that, would you have to just go out there and
we would rely on more of just, you know, our network captains telling each other where they caught some fish and stuff like that, you know, which is cool. But you know, we normally tell the truth to each other, but every now and then somebody will send you on a wild goose chase. You know,
yeah, that is one thing that is cool though. I learned when I went with Johnny, and Bradley always, whenever you ask them, I feel like most of them, and when you're on the radio and you're out there, it's like, hey, we just got one over here if y'all want to come by. I feel like y'all are all the good captains are kind of true to
work together
to each other.
I mean, you're
which is
only
sweet.
As good as your network in fishing, man. You know, you got to have a little network of guys you trust and work together.
Yeah,
you know,
which I think is awesome.
Because anything can happen out there, man. You always need someone's help, or you know, just anything can come up out there, you know. So
definitely, yeah, I love that.
If one person's catching fish and the others aren't, man, call you guys over, man. You know, that's the thing, man. You know, everyone should work together, get along. Like, don't set up on top of the person, give them their space, but you know, there's enough for everyone, you know.
Especially when they're hot. So then this is a new segment we got for you.
All right.
I'd like to call it, it's the Core's Pure Behind the Testimonials. And if you look on the screen, you have this big ass, if you're watching this, there's a massive yellowfin tuna on the boat with a big topwater popper.
Oh yeah.
And one of my favorite things I did when we were out, it was probably 2 a.m. We just saw these blackfin jumping around us. And topwater, I mean, you can't really beat it. So I just put on a big tuna popper, threw it out, and you just, and it was sweet. And I always was like, God, I hope a big yellowfin jumps up. So what's the story behind this one?
Great story on these, man. This was one of my favorite days of fishing. You know, I got some guys from the East Coast. They're hardcore fishermen, man. They come down every year and fish with me for the lump season, you know, and they like to throw them poppers, man. They come decked out with the best gear. So they came with their gear, man, and we were over at the East Lump, man, and they must have threw that popper 1,000 times, man. Every one of them just kept ripping it. You know, we were chumming,
like
they were ripping the popper. Well, finally, man, it paid off, dude, and it was incredible.
Did the body come out?
Oh yeah, it came clean out the water with the popper in his mouth. Like I think that was like a 160.
Spinning, huh?
Yeah, on spinning gear.
What a beast! I mean, shit.
160. Yep. And then So the next guy came up, man. The school was swimming through, you know, and that day was pretty slow. Not a lot of people were catching them on chum. They were feeding on pogies on top of the water. So he threw that, got that 160 on. The next guy came right behind him, threw over him. Boom, another like 140 exploded right on that. The next guy came up. Boom, another like 130, man.
Chaos.
The next guy, the next guy threw. We had 4 lines out. Boom, hooked up. So we were quadrupled up on massive yellowfin tuna. And we were all just, you know, great energy from these guys, man. They were stoked, good fishermen. They were all handling themselves great. You know, we got on them and we ended up popping 2 of them off and landing 2. You know, when it's that on spinning gear, man, it's gonna happen. You know, lighter tackle, exactly. Yeah. You know, even with the Stellas, man, that's the best spinners you can have. You know, we landed 2 out of the 4, and then I think later in the day we ended up catching 1 more.
Wow,
you know?
Bad trip.
No, man. And it was just epic because, you know, every other boat they caught like 1 that day, and to catch 3
on top waters.
3 on top waters, and then we caught 1 chumming. I mean, that was great, you know.
Wow.
Oh, that is
the
great.
energy when they all 4 must have been wild.
Especially just right after, like they were throwing right where those fish were, man. So, and to see a top water bite is epic.
Yeah,
you know, because you actually see the bite. You know, live bait fishing, you see the rod tips and stuff like that, but to see the explosion on that popper, man, if that doesn't get your blood pumping, I don't know what does.
Yeah,
man.
I agree.
Because it jacks me up, man.
Yeah. When I saw that, I was like, and then I was like, damn, that's a big tuna. And then I saw the popper. I was like, oh,
yeah,
let's go.
Yep.
And then the next one was, oh wait, I'm on the wrong thing. The next one was this Wahoo day with all these Wahoo.
Oh, yeah.
I've always wanted to catch a Wahoo. I've trolled for them.
That's my bread and butter, man.
Yeah.
That's, besides sword fishing and tuna fishing, I think my Wahoo fishing is up there. You know, we get bites like that in the winter. Yeah, we troll artificials for them. And when it goes off, man, it goes off, you know. It's a lot of, you know, right place, right time type deal, you know, a lot of trolling, a lot of moving around. But once you find them, man, and you get on them, and Wahoo are so challenging because they're like tuna. They're constantly moving, man. You'll go there one day, smash them, go back the next day and not get another bite. So to land that many in one day, those customers were so happy.
Oh, I bet. And that's good eating.
Definitely. You know, our hardest customers are guys from Louisiana because they have such high expectations.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
because you always see pictures like this and they think that's every day.
They think that's every day. Correct. So, you know, when you get guys from up north or who don't always get on fish like that, and you put them on a day like that, man, it's they'll never forget that, you know. So
I mean, you gotta go down to Louisiana. I mean, they got
bragging everyone. Let me show you this picture.
Good for business.
Yeah, definitely.
That one in the middle, or kind of the right, it's a big bitch. How much the hell?
Yeah.
I think it was about 85, man.
Damn.
85.
What's your biggest?
My biggest is right under 100. I haven't caught 100-pound Wahoo yet, man. I think I got a 98, man. So I'm gunning for that 100-pound. A 98 is still a stud, but yeah, I think that one was 82.
82.
Yep.
What's the record in Louisiana?
I think it's 130 plus.
Okay,
Yeah, it's a big girl.
Yeah.
But
they
in the
get
winter,
thick.
yeah,
and they're gorgeous.
They're so good to eat.
Yeah,
and they're just a white meat, great texture fish. Just top of the line quality. Wahoo is my favorite fish to eat.
Okay,
I want to catch one.
Oh,
so
for
bad.
sure. And they, you know, they make that long initial run, you know, and then they're constantly shaking their head. So it's imperative that you keep that line tight, you know. So yeah.
God, that's fun. Do Wahoo jump ever?
Some not normally, but every now and then we'll get some that come up and explode. And I've had 1 or 2 jump it, you know, but that
because it's just so fast.
Yeah,
huh?
not exactly.
They're going out of control. Go out of the water.
Come out of the water. I think they are one of the fastest fish there is. You know.
Speaking of fastest fish, I've always wanted to catch a mako. You ever on accident catch any of those?
We've caught a few mako. You know,
they're
oh yeah, they're a serious fish. You know, normally I'm like shark shit. You know,
yeah, definitely.
You know, it's messing up your gear. It's more trouble than it's worth. But for the Makos in the winter, man, we like to, it's more of a trophy,
Yeah,
so
I agree.
we'll keep a few, only if it's a real big one, man.
Yeah,
definitely. Well, Captain Donnie, I would normally finish off saying the Vizzy question of the night. What is one of your favorite fishing memories? But I feel like winning this tournament.
Winning the tournament,
yeah.
it's not even close for us, Yeah, winning that tournament, that's just a statement, and a proud moment for us for sure.
Yeah, it's incredible. And then you got anything else?
Nothing else. We talked about future tournaments.
Yeah.
Is that so? In the past, do you ever win big like that?
They had this tournament in 2018, the Swordfish Jackpot, and we caught a 219. We ended up finishing third. We came in the second day. We broke the state record at the time, but we were kind of like, is it going to hold up? And we ended up getting bumped down to third, but it was cool to just, the 2 times they had the Swordfish Jackpot to finish third and to finish first, man. It wasn't just a luck of the draw type thing. It was a lot of hard work, blood, sweat, and tears, man. And
planning.
You have the process figured out.
Right. It wasn't just like we decided to do this overnight.
It's a week-long studying process. Longer than that, but that week leading up, I can't imagine the grind y'all put in every night.
Full prep, man, for sure.
Do y'all go out there ever to scout it?
Definitely. We did some pre-fishing for this tournament. Normally I don't like to do a lot of pre-fishing because I feel like you catch your biggest fish when you're pre-fishing, then your expectations are like, or you go catch the fish you were looking for. But for this tournament, we actually did some pre-fishing. We caught like a 250 kind of where we were. We didn't kill it, we released him. So I'm a big believer in good karma, man. You know, there's no need to go out and kill a bunch of fish. Killing one swordfish is plenty, man. That fish is going to yield you 60, 80% of meat. There's no point of going out there whacking 2, 3, 4 swordfish. The limit's 4 per boat, but I've never kept more than I've caught 3 and I felt bad about it one time, so, let's, as a group, we can do better is not going out there killing a bunch of fish, man.
You don't need more than one. I feel like after that fight,
exactly.
Yeah, everyone's reeling that thing up 1,000.
Too many people, the ego sets in, man. They want to go out and get 10 tuna, 2 or 3 swordfish, and a limit of snapper. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
We got to kind of dial it back if we want our kids to have that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I love that. And then I've always wanted to ask a captain this: how much do you love red snapper on a slow day when you first go out to try to catch tuna and stuff, and you don't catch any, and you're like, well, we got Old Faithful. They'll get the red snapper.
It'll save your ass a bunch of days, man. It sure will. Yeah.
Because I've always thought that whenever, like when we used to go with Lee or something, and you go out and you'll catch, like when we went, we actually caught like a couple real nice tuna. But if we didn't, I just think it's always priced. We're like, oh, we'll just run over to this underwater pipeline. It's like,
gotta have them underwater pipelines.
Boom.
Yeah. And some nice grouper, man. That'll save you on a tough day. You never want to come in with clean cocktail ice, man.
No way.
Yeah, you always want to come in, get the customers some action, man. And you'll be able to persevere, man.
And one other funny thing I think about deep sea fishing is finding the right bait. Where like you'll ask someone like, oh, they're only eating Google. What is it? Goggle eyes, or then you can't find those, and you're fishing hardtails, and like, oh, you ain't catching shit on hardtails. Right. It's like, oh, fuck me, huh? Like, goddamn.
You want to find out what they're feeding on, man.
And it's funny, it changes week by week, huh?
Oh,
or even day by day sometimes. I bet.
Yep, for sure.
Do you know why? Awesome. Do you have a theory why?
Man. To be honest, I don't know why. I'd like to know why more, but my theory is just different water temperatures and different baits moving. It's different times, different seasons, man. Bait seasonal, so it all has to do with that, So you don't want to just have one bait, man. You want to have a couple of different things, try different things, fish a couple of different lines with different baits, see what they're biting, and then my thing is, I'll drop a couple of different baits, and then if I get a bite on one, all right, we're gonna stick with the same routine. If I get 2 or 3 bites on the same thing, then I'm switching to that bait. You know, so it's kind of like, you know, it's not just going out there throwing lines in the water, man.
Yeah,
It's
no
like a chess
way.
game. You know?
Yeah,
For sure.
definitely. And I don't want to give away all your secrets, but how do you cut the tails of do you cut the tails of your bait so they don't swim as well? You keep them
some
full?
people do, you know, when I'm grouper fishing, I might trim them a little bit, but tuna fishing, I like my bait to be total natural.
Okay.
Yep.
That's good to know.
Yeah. But grouper fishing might give it a little trim.
Slow it down for them.
Yeah, for sure. You can use bigger baits and stuff like that too. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I feel like we need to have you back on. I could talk all night, but unfortunately we have some people coming in after us at 8:30.
Yep.
So we got to wrap it up. But yeah,
sure.
I want you to come back on. And then everyone,
awesome.
this is, remember, Captain Donnie Jackson with Tails Up Offshore Fishing Charters out of Venice Marina. If you want to give your phone number.
Cypress Cove.
I mean, out of
Yep.
Cypress Cove,
Yep.
Cypress Cove Marina.
Yep.
You can find them on Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah. Instagram, Facebook,
Website.
tailsupoffshore.com. Pretty easy to remember. You know, our phone number is 504-313-8339. You know, Instagram, we have Tails Up Offshore Fishing Charters, and Facebook is Tails Up Offshore Fishing Charters. Also, check us out. You know, give us a like or a follow, man, and you know, hit us up if you want to catch some big fish, man. We'll put you on.
Yeah, go get yourself a world record with them, baby.
Yeah.
Roger that, guys. Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you. You have a good one.
Yep.